Hello and greeting to all the people of the planet, the Baha'i greeting of Baha'u'llah. Well, it's Christmas time, so Merry Christmas to everybody in the world, especially the Christians. Last night I responded to a question that Darrick was asking me. He sent another comment which I think is a worthy one to discuss about, and I decided to continue to respond to this comment. This is how it goes. Dear sir, the Baha'i Hell consists of feeling bad about not working for race unity and world peace in this life. I can take that kind of a hell. I don't believe my soul will be destroyed if I reject Baha'u'llah. I do not believe it. I do not believe it. Also, I experienced race unity when I was in high school in Los Angeles during forced busing. I was bitten almost every day by blacks. I was threatened. I was told to bring $20 to them every day, or be bitten beyond recognition. I was spit upon daily because I was white. So I'm not much into race unity. Take care, Darrick. I really felt bad for this gentleman. But then again, I've lived half a century, more than that, in this life. I've heard this kind of a comment almost from every creed and race and color and religion and nationalities and all kind of people. They all say those things. And unfortunately, it is true. But I've also discovered in my life that the cruelty, the ignorance definitely does not have a border. It does not understand the English or Arabic. It's not a black thing, it's not a white thing, it's not a Chinese thing. It's metaphysical, it's like a virus. Everyone gets it. So, I remember about 1991, 1992, we had a teaching project, and I went to a really forsaken place in Canada called Ozenburg, where the road ends. After that there's no road. Pickle Lake is called. And there I saw the native people. Many of them, they couldn't speak English. Many of them are complaining the same thing about the white people. My answer to them was that I'd like to believe you, but the evidences are otherwise. One of your people named Billy Trout, he left the reservation basically seeking refuge in my house. When I was saying that in the weekend when you received your checks, many of your youth and guys, whoever, drinking and going to his house in front of him, raping his wife in front of him. I couldn't do anything about it. And I've read, and you all know it as well, I told him that, to Chief Roy, that before the white man come here, you, the native here, were pretty aggressive towards each other, especially Hurons. If they could catch you in their territory, you would wish to die many times before you go through those tortures. I said, so the fact that the white people came here in this land, in my opinion, has been a very good thing to create peace among you. You see, they are like a washer. They're stopping you contacting each other in that way. We don't hate each other anymore. I see some of you are, and all over Canada, you're the natives, you're more united. So, or when I listen to people in South America, that what the Spanish, people did to them. All those stories are true. There's no doubt of transgression and the tyranny that happened to the native people there. But before the Spanish went there, it seems the situation was a lot worse. Weren't they sacrificing the people every day and killing them for their gods? Human sacrifice? Imagine the tyranny, the level of it. So, these races, when they encountered each other, it seems it slowed things down a bit. It would have been worse otherwise. So as I heard, the black people here in our country, Canada and US, it's obvious, the history says they were kidnapped and they brought as a slave to the United States of America. It's written. It's the measure of tyranny and transgression, really huge. There's no doubt about it. I'm not here to deny it. But is this a white thing, really? Well, the black, when they were in Africa on their own, were they at peace then? No cruelty was happening between them? Were not they cruel to each other? They were. Rwanda is an example, just a few years ago. 500,000 people were killed by the other people of their own country, man, just because they were different tribals, cultures. It's cultural, killing. Or the white people, I like to believe them, like the complaint of Darrick today, that the black people are the cause of all the problem in the United States of America. They're the one we're suffering from. Well, sit down and talk to an Irishman from England. I've spoken to them. They have a lot of a story of humiliation, degradations, and sheer tyranny of English people upon them. So, all these evidences, and there are thousands of it, in Iran and in India, everywhere. This is like a virus, it's a disease that does not understand color, race, culture, religion. This kind of cruelty is right between the people of the nations of the same religion, same language spoken, same color, but are still, a lot of them were cruel at each other. We all know that. So, we have to be smart. I'm not trying to bring up a lesson of unity to you, that never mind the transgression and the cruelty. Oh no, it exists. I know it well. But it doesn't have a color, Darrick. I like to believe you, but all the evidences are against that. If there was no black people in the United States of America, the English people themselves, they would probably massacre each other as they did in the war they had. White people are suffering from each other more than they're suffering from the blacks. Black people are the same way. They cause more problem for each other, more suffering. A black man suffers from a black man more than a black from the white people. Same as the natives. It's a story all over the place. Iranian right now in Iran, they are causing such a havoc, such a transgressions, such a tyranny that has been unheard in the history of Iran. What this regime is doing to the people right now as we speak. And then those bastards are trying to tell me that English man is the bad man, and American man is the bad man, and the black man is the bad man, and the Chinese are bad man. What are they trying to do? This is the trick. They try to mask it. They try to tell you the cause of this cruelty is that color. The cause of it is that religion. Those Muslims or Chinese, they like to, because this way they put you into a disillusioned state. They want to mask it. Baha'u'llah and the Baha'i faith is very, very upright when it comes to the transgression and cruelty. Baha'u'llah is not a naive God. He's not. He knows it. But he says, if you get rid of these barriers, these masks that people are putting on themselves, the mask of color, the mask of religion, the mask of language, the mask of nationalities, then we don't see the bad man. Get rid of those masks. Then you know, the girls are in all kind of nations, they speak all the languages. They follow all kind of religions. It is not a phenomenon that is limited to one religion, to one language, to one color, to one race, to one nationalities, even to one gender. It's not. You see? If you get rid of this, then we know who the bastards are. If this whale is fallen down, Darrick, then the black people will come or stand right side by side of you to get the culprit. Same as the white. If they know the blacks are side by side with them, they'll get the bad one. Fly over these barriers. Many of it made by us, some of it made by nature. Those differences that naturally occurs is just meant to make it more beautiful, less boring. It is impossible today to create a nation of absolutely one type of people and rich prosperity, rich social justice. It is not. It is harder. It is not easier. But when more races are in between, they become like a washer. It creates a separation. White people can unite then because there are blacks. Blacks are uniting because they're white. If they understand this, then all the black and white have to unite. Then those who cruels and they have a mask on their face that I'm black and I'm suffering and I'm white and I'm suffering, those masks, they're all falling down. Then we'll catch the bad ones. It is impossible to create democracy right now in any part of the world if there aren't people of different nations, if there aren't people of different cultures, if there's not a good mix. You can't make it. All these peoples, different races, cultures, we should not annihilate it. We should use it in a right way. Then we get to the point of real unity. You know, I was in Egypt in 2007, as it's my nature, I bring discussions in different areas. I don't go to university to talk to professors. No, I talk to people, to those who know that I will have the answer from what the society is. I found out, in my amazement, many youth and other people in Egypt those days, they were thinking President Barack Obama is a Muslim. I told them he's not. They said, no, he is. Once he's a black man, his father is a Muslim, he will be a Muslim all the time. I said, very well. If that's what you think. He said, I want to change my name to Obama. I said, why? I said, look, he's now the President of the United States of America. Black man from Kenya. To the credit of Mr. Obama, you want to call him black, but his mother was white, so what is he, gray? Why don't we call him white? Just because his mother is not, white is not enough to be a white man? Even his color is not exactly like black, or not like white. Can we call him black and white president? No. People just want to call him black. Okay. But see what the United States of America did. It is the secret of the combinations. Today, the combination is the secret of progress. United States of America is the greatest country of the world only because he has all these races and creeds within it. They are the liver of the democracy. Without the blacks, there would not be a democracy in the United States of America. It would not be. They were the conscience of the people. They were the one to distinguish between bad and good. And the President of the United States of America, he became the rebel against the system. And he brought it down. Those black people there, they paid the sacrifice of being a slave to open up the eye of the Americans, to see for themselves what is the truth of the time. How many of them they died to understand a simple truth. They did. And the United States just flourished and flourished, bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. There was a statement of Abraham Lincoln would never come about if there was no black there. If you think there would have been no war because of it, you are sadly wrong. Everyone knows. The problem in the United States of America was, on the very beginning, was there. Because naturally people are left and right. This is how the way the universe is. People are born conservative, some of them are Democrat and liberal mind. They're both necessary. I'm not with one type or another. But there are clashes though. Those clashes that happen in the United States wasn't sort of black. They didn't cause it. You see? So, remember the truth does not have a border. Because of this election of the Barack Obama, thanks to God, the United States of America got exonerated from being called a racist society. As a whole, the nation is not a racist nation. And they proved it. It doesn't matter what the circumstances was that caused Barack Obama to become up. But by God, this is the greatest social achievement. Again, it happened in the United States of America. I'll tell you what the implication of that was, mister. Because you're talking to a philosopher. Okay. Not a just simple casual mind. All these Muslims in Africa, they were looking for a role model because their regimes are such a demonic system. Every one of them, from Gaddafi to Hosni Mubarak to this fellow Saddam Hussein, take the rest of them, all of them. They're all gangsters. This gangsterdom is going on. And people are looking for a solution. The solution is coming from Osama bin Laden. This is the one. What is the philosophy of bin Laden? That we cannot win over America, over Western society. Therefore, we will have to destroy them. That is the message. But American, they showed it otherwise. They proved on an open liberal society, such as the States, Barack Obama, all of you call him black man, he can become the president of the United States of America. All of a sudden, all these Muslims, they thought, my God, why Osama? He's not a role model. Obama is the role model. Why plan destruction? Plan takeover? That's what I think. He gave them, he became the prophet, the social prophet of our time. This American-made president gave the high hope deep inside those youth that they have to get up and do something. This is why the whole Africa on the north, and it's going the way of it, went through the social justice, not through the plan of Osama, but the inspirations by the Obama. Who is Obama? Elected by the majority of white people in the United States of America. A country whose majority is white, is Christians. So, what a fantastic way to get rid of terrorism in the world. To create open regimes, open societies. Who did that? American, they voted for him. How could then this combination of races be bad? I am warning you, you blacks and you white people, find your friends on the other side. If you miss that, you've been cheated by a mask that the guy put on his face and called himself your friend. This friendship does not come into the black and into the white color. They're masks. Don't beware of these disguises. Beware. If the country would have been all white, English Anglo-Saxons, it would not last even a few years. For sure America would have been divided into two. But lo and behold, the blacks, they cemented it together. You see? Why fight? There's a common enemy. His color is black. That's the primitive thoughts. But they kept them united. The blacks in America have paid the really grandiose prices for being in the United States as a slave, but paved the way for Americans to see what they are made out of. And by God, Americans are bright. They saw it. Okay? So, yes, there are pockets of people everywhere. But do not classify them that they are black cruel man, a white cruel man, an English-speaking cruel man, an Arab-speaking cruel man. They're just masks. Satanic masks of ignorance. Get rid of it, mister. I'm from Iran. I doubt that anybody as deep as me in this planet is attached to the country of the United Kingdom, to Canada, to United States of America, to Australia, and to New Zealand. Anglo-Saxon race. And I'm Iranian. I'm that much attached to this race. They have the baton in their hand to do it now, and they will, I'm sure. But could American fight a friend like me that much sincere in his mind, in his philosophy? The God of the universe is here with you. Okay. Let's get to the other part of these questions before it gets too far. Before I answer the part that we should recognize Baha'u'llah and the Baha'i faith or we go to hell, I have to tell you, truth is a power, very powerful response or a statement that does not undergo variation. Does not. There might be various ways to get to it, but the result always is the same thing. In Europe, they didn't know what antiseptic is. In 3 different countries, they were not even attached to each other. They found out that during the surgery, people were dying, that they have to go through this process of antiseptic and clean everything. They found out, they did that, and it worked. They might reach it differently, but the truth is the same thing. It doesn't matter if you're a Muslim, you hate Jewish God, but it's still E is equal to MC squared 2, postulated by this Jewish man. Because truth does not undergo variation. There are